I'm free to hug my family. I'm free to start over. This is the greatest day of my life. My heart is just bursting with gratitude. I want to thank President Donald John Trump. Woo! Hallelujah! Thank you.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Now, regardless of what you think of Trump, that is a fantastic ad. Well put together, simple, and sweet. And he did it at the perfect time. If you don't know, this is actually a Super Bowl ad that was aired during the Super Bowl. Now, we already know the Super Bowl is a massive event which millions and millions of people watch. It is a very big event in which marketing is done. Now, of course, advertising a product isn't necessarily going to help if you just advertise it on the Super Bowl. That may or may not help you. However, I'm thinking this might help within politics, since it's a little bit different, and since the coverage of Trump by the mainstream media is so, well, negative, this ad in general was a good idea to do during this time, I think. Now, I can't say for certain of how effective it will be, but I think it will be pretty effective, as far as political ads go, I would say. Because as I said, most of the coverage of Trump on mainstream media is very negative, so I think this was a good idea on Trump's part. Now, what this is kind of talking about is the act, which is called the First Step Act. And even Vox, a very anti-Trump news site, has praised it, has praised the fact that he has signed it, in a sense. Now, for those of you who do remember, yes, I know this was around early last year, but perhaps not everyone has heard. Anyways, what this act is lowering some sentences. It does a few other things, and I'll go through those. What the FSA does is that it makes laws retroactive that reforms enacted by the Fair Sentencing Act of 2010, which reduced the disparity between crack cocaine and powder cocaine sentences at the federal level. And according to Vox, this should have affected around 2,600 federal inmates. The law also takes several steps to ease mandatory minimum sentences under federal law. It expands the safety value that judges can use to avoid handing down mandatory minimum sentences. It eases a 3-strike rule so people with the 3 or more convictions, including for drug offenses, don't automatically get life. They actually will get at most 25 years in prison. It restricts the current practice of stacking gun charges against drug offenders to add possible decades to prison sentences. All of these things leading to shorter sentences. It also increases good time credits that inmates can earn, and inmates will also get to earn time credits by participating more in vocational and rehabilitative programs. And as I have said, even Vox admits that this is a good start, that this is the most significant criminal justice reform legislation in years. Sadly, though, this will only affect the federal prisons and will not affect state or local prisons. Now, as much as I think those sentences should be reduced or even gotten rid of completely in state and local, it's up to the states. This is one of the good things that Trump has done in his presidency. Unless, of course, you're against this, then yeah, you won't think this is good. Cough, cough, Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro, cough, cough. Now, the other thing I would like to bring up in this video is Trump's State of the Union address. From the parts I saw and heard, and from the people I have heard talking about it, it was quite good. However, there are a few parts I have a problem with. One, namely, is his basically praising and wanting to keep Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all of those things. I'm not like the very pro-Trump guys who will say, oh, it was so perfect, there was nothing wrong with it. That's better bullshit if they think that, or say that. Because there's nothing good about praising Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Those programs are not good to have. They are bankrupting the country. If we got rid of those programs, we would probably not be in debt at all, because they account for over 50% of government spending. And if you want my solution on how to solve our whole healthcare system, well, deregulate it quite a bit. If you want to hear more on that, I'll link one of my articles that I've written. It has all my sources. Now, the one thing I will have to criticize, but don't necessarily disagree with, is Trump bringing up sanctuary cities. That could have been, you didn't really have to bring that up. Now, one thing I will praise him though on holding back is not bringing up impeachment. That was good on him. So overall, I will say his speech was good. There were a few parts I didn't like, mostly the whole Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all that. Anyways, that's it for today. If you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share it. Help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers. And I'll see y'all later.